matter what happens, at the end of the day, tables turn. I live with my two aunts. The oldest aunt has no kids, and the youngest aunt has two sons. My mom passed away when she was giving birth to me, so my dad had a heart attack when he had that. I mean, he was there, so I mean, when he saw that. So, all my life, I've been living with my two aunts and their husbands, right? They decided to live in one house instead of two separate houses where I get to visit the one and then the next time visit the other. They didn't want that. They wanted stability, as they said. So they lived in one house. There has never ever been toxicity in that house. Never, not even once. They never fought. My aunts never fought. Neither the husbands fought each other. Never. Like, never happened. They never shouted. They were not toxic. They were very calm people. They are still very calm people. They are very nice people to certain people. But what I'm trying to say is I didn't grow up in a toxic environment. It's just that some of the things were just hurtful, for a child at my age. I mean, back then, when I was a kid, some of the things did hurt me, but it's not because it's toxic or bad or violent or harsh. So what happened is, but like, okay, the only things that ever made me sad were like if my younger aunt would buy school shoes for her two sons and then she wouldn't buy for me, knowing that my shoes are bad. Now that would hurt me and I just cry about it. But my oldest aunt always made sure that I had everything. So whenever the aunt buys something, she would buy for me, not because she's buying it for me because the other aunt bought it for their two sons, but because I also need it. And she was oblivious for her. I was oblivious to not notice in time because she was always away. So basically, you could say that my oldest aunt took care of me. I believe that also because she didn't have any kids. I mean, she can have kids, but she just decided not to have kids after my mom died. She wanted basically for me to be her kid. And the other aunt obviously has two kids, so she has a lot of on her hands, on her plate, which is understandable. So fast forward to when I was in my last year of high school, my aunt just came back, my oldest aunt. Okay, I'm just gonna call her mom. I'm gonna call the oldest aunt mom and I'll call the youngest aunt auntie. So mom just came back and one day and she was like, hey, I'm so sorry about everything, but we are moving, her and her husband. She's like, we're moving. I love you so much. We can talk every single day. I'm so sorry that I can't take you with because this is a work trip. You know how my work just moves with me anyway, But this time I'm afraid that it's gonna be longer. It could be 6 months, it could be a year, it could be years. I'm not sure. It could even be a month. Depends on the work that we do and how fast we finish the work. So she basically told me that she's leaving and she could come back and she could not come back. And she bought me a lot of clothes, like a lot of clothes, a lot of shoes. At some point, I thought she maxed out her savings to buy everything for me. She bought me gadgets. She bought me two cell phones. She bought me everything I could possibly need, especially because I was going to university the following year. And right when she left, everything went south. She lived with her husband because they work at the same place and they do the same work. So right after she left, my auntie's husband lost his job, and my aunt was the only person that's working, right? And the two sons were now transferred to a private school, and I was still going to the public school that I was going to, which I had no problem with. I loved the school, it was amazing, my marks were good, I have no complaints. So everything just went south from then. My auntie would be like, "Who do you think you are in this house? You have two cell phones. You don't even pay for the electricity bill. You better get your ass up and go find some work and pay for these damn bills." That's how she'd say it. And she took my phones because I never put the password. My aunt was like, "Put the password on. Don't let anybody take your phone." But like, how can I not allow my auntie to take my phone when she's the oldest and I'm just young and I'm just like oblivious and I don't know anything, you know? And she took both my phones, gave them to her two sons, which hurt me the most because they bragged about it all the time. Like, yeah, you have nothing, nobody cares about you. They were very foolish. And the husband would talk to her, she would be like, "Why don't you just rest a little bit? I feel like you're being too harsh on the kid." And my aunt would threaten the husband to leave the house because he was talking about something that he did not know. Because she was like, "You don't know what you're talking about. Am I being too harsh? Well, you better pack your bags and leave this house because I'm being harsh on your ass." So I basically spoke to my mom for like a week after they left, and I've never spoken to them ever again. My aunt took all the numbers that my mom left me, and hey, it was bad. I felt bad that I didn't even cram the numbers. Okay, I would have definitely called my mom when I went to school or something. I did go to the dean's office to ask them to call my mom, but they had no alternative numbers of her. Apparently, my auntie moved them. Yeah. So I applied to a university and I was leaving, going to live at rest, and then she's like, "Oh no, you cannot. You are either staying here and studying from home or you're not going to school at all. You are not leaving this house." All she wanted me to do was just clean the house, do the dishes, clean after her kids, bathe her hair, do everything. It was like I was a slave in that house, and I never argued, I never fought. The husband, of course, would leave things for me in the attic for me to access anytime. He would talk to me anytime. He would like, "You know what? If I were you, I'd just get a job and just leave this place. It is a hell house." For um then I went to uni for 4 years, right? And the two sons never went to school. All they did was work. And all I was hearing in the house, me and the husband, all we had was, "You guys don't work, you guys are pigs," stuff like that, degrading things. And yeah, so it happened for 10 years. I went to school for 4 years and then I went to school for another 2 years for my master's degree. Hey, and then I went again to get another master's for another 2 years. And after getting the second master's, I was like, you know what? It's a waste of time for getting another master's. At this point, I could get a PhD and I'd be wasting my time because I just felt bad. I was in pain and nothing I did was right. I felt like a loser for not working, for having people feed me, when I could possibly work. And I felt guilty for not being hired for something that I have a degree on, I had experience on, regarding the volunteers that I took. I was so sad, that my two cousins could get in a job without qualifications because of connections. But I wouldn't even, you know what, it's fine. It was so sad. And then finally, after 10 years of finishing school. So after 2 years of completing my second master's, I got a job. I was the most happiest person. I was so happy. Like, I was so happy. And when I got a job, the husband wanted to leave. He's like, you know what? Now you have a job. I can now leave. It's only staying because of you. And I'm tired of that woman. So I bought the husband a house because I was working now, right? I bought him a house where he could stay at. And he's still living there even now. It's been so many years and he still lives there. And I was left with the people, and he urged me to stay with him. And I was like, you know what? No, it's fine. These people are not working now, so I'd like to repay them. Not repay like, oh, now I'm obligated, no. But like, at least I can take care of them now. Like, I didn't want to leave them stranded. So I took care of them. I'd buy food, and she'd still curse me. She's like, yeah, you think I need to snack on your food? She was so ungrateful. So I'm just basically sharing this story because I'm just like, anything, like, things happen. You can go through bad things for so many years, and then one day just wake up and everything is like so good on your side. And you'd be so happy because now you're just like, oh, finally, I'm done. Oh, finally, I'm out. Finally, like, you would be so happy, you know? Imagine going to school and then 10 years later, with all the degrees that I had no job. For 10 years, looking for a job, crying for a job, seeking for a job, and finding nothing, but only going back to the house where I was abused, I was used. You know, my oldest aunt, my mom, never came back. Ever in those 10 years. I've never spoken to her in those 10 years. And it was another grief that I was going through. For me, it was grieving because I'm just like, she's gone. She's also gone. She's never coming back. And it was because of me. I blame myself for like a minute because I'm just like, why would you just leave me? I mean, if it's because of work, you could possibly just take me and I'll just stay in the house. Like, I'm old enough to take care of myself. So I felt like she didn't love me. That's how I felt like. But oh, she didn't love me. She was just claiming. Ah, man, it's lies, but like, it's how I felt. So after 5 years of me finally working, she came back and my mom came back with her husband. Oh man, she looked so old, but I was so happy to see her. But the first day I saw her, I was just so angry. I was so happy, but I was so angry at her. I didn't want to speak to her. I wanted nothing to do with her. And they moved back into the house. So when they moved back, I left the house and I moved in with the husband, my youngest aunt's husband. I moved in with him, and I was basically taking care of him at this point because he was old enough to not get a job. Like the chances of him of getting a job was so slim. So I was basically taking care of him because I wanted to, and I didn't want him to go back to his family. I mean, he was my dad after all. He took care of me, and I just wanted to spend my money on him to show how much I appreciated him. Throughout those 10 years, it was so hard for me and him. Oh, everything was so bad. So I only spoke to my mom when, after my dad, the one I'm living with, spoke to me and I'm like, you know what? You need to let things go. If your aunt comes to me right now and apologizes, I'm still gonna forgive her because I already forgave her. But that does not mean I'm gonna get back with her because I won't forget the things that she said to me. I mean, she's still my wife. I love her so much, but at the same time, I'm willing to be hurt than get back with her and be more hurt. So, because I did love my mom and her husband, of course, I allowed her to reach out to me. I spoke with her and I was so happy, and everything has been good. So she's been taking care of my youngest aunt and her kids. And I was out. I was like, I'm done. I can't take it with the ridicule because I was still being abused even when I was working and I was feeding her. You know, I'm just sharing this because I know there are a lot of people that are going through this, and people don't usually speak out, but there are so many things that could happen in a household like that. Abuse is not good, and if you're one of those people that abuse other people's kids, I am pleading for you to stop because everybody has their own problems. Everybody is going through it, and you adding a problem onto someone else's problem now, it's just like, are you okay? What if that happened to your own child? What if it happened to you? Like, you know, no matter what happens, at the end of the day, tables turn. Hi, my name is Fenty. Thank you for listening to this story time. I hope you enjoyed this story time as much as I enjoyed making it. To whoever sent me this story time, thank you so much. I appreciate you. This must have been the hardest thing that you've ever been through. I cannot even imagine it. To those that want to send me story times, please go to my description and find my details. You are free to do so. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Please share this to people that might enjoy it. And also please subscribe to the channel so that we can grow it. Take care. Don't forget to pray.